What's going on, guys? It's your average consumer, and looky, we got a special box over here. This is from the folks over at Apple. Now, Apple recently announced a couple of new products, but this box is a bit bigger than what I was expecting, so there might be a few more things inside of here. So let's crack it open and see what we get inside. All right, so let's see what we get inside of here. It's nothing like a little care package from Apple, I'll tell you that. Ooh wee. So there are a few things inside of here, guys. So first thing that's at the very top is that brand new iPad Pro. So this is the one they just announced. Now this one right here is the one with the new and improved dual camera system. So let's pop this thing open. All right, so of course we got this little pull tab over here. Always so satisfying. So let's shake it out. A nice big slab of tech. Gotta love it. Tablet world. Ooh, right away we see it, guys. This is that dual camera system. So on the bottom we have the wide angle lens, and the top we have the ultra wide. Now I am really glad that Apple went with the ultra wide for this dual camera system. If this was a few years ago, that would have been a telephoto lens, which we don't need over here, y'all. We need the ultra wide. Now it's also next to this dual camera system, and you might not really be able to see it, but that is the LiDAR scanner. So basically what the LiDAR scanner stands for is light detection and ranging. And we'll talk about this in a second. Let's actually just pop this thing out. We have the space gray version over here. Ooh, and man, ooh, I love me a nice 12.9 inch iPad. Now this is the size that I always go for because it's just the way to go. Jay's like, nah, it's too big, huh?
Oh, I like it.
You like it?
Yeah.
My man, Carl, is it too big? Man, you crazy. All right, so let's see what else we have inside of the box before we jump into the iPad completely. You of course have your paperwork, pamphlets, all that good stuff, USB-C cable, and then your charging brick. Pretty simple unboxing experience. It's Apple, what do you expect? And let me go ahead and power this guy on. Boom. And of course, we have the same front-facing camera up top, which is able to use Face ID. It has all the scanners and sensors that you need for that. And overall, the design is pretty much the same, except for, of course, that camera. All right, guys, so we jumped ahead through the setup process and we are officially here. Now, the iPad looks largely the same, but they did, of course, change a few things with the internals. So this thing is running the new Apple A12Z Bionic chip. So that is an improvement from last year. I can throw up the specs over here for those of you who are interested in seeing just how much more powerful this thing is. But some of the other things that they added, which I think will make a pretty big difference, are the new studio microphones. Now, if you're on FaceTime or you even want to use this for recording, you'll be able to get that really good audio that we also were able to get from the MacBook 16-inch. So we do have those internal upgrades, but like I said, the only other thing hardware-wise is that LiDAR sensor and the new camera lens. And if you don't know what that LiDAR scanner is all about, it's pretty much going to help with augmented reality. Now before, if you wanted to use AR, you would have to like scan the floor with the camera and, you know, kind of get a feel of that. But now you might not really need to do all of that thanks to the scanner. Now it's going to be interesting to see what developers do with that. What I really want to see Apple do is pretty much use that for portrait mode photos. Now, I don't know if that's coming around the corner. I don't recall seeing anything about that coming into play with portrait mode photos, but that could really help with edge detection. I think it makes complete sense so that now we get that better edge detection. The camera will be able to know exactly what is supposed to be in the shot. So I don't know, hopefully we see it in the future, but that's pretty much the new iPad. But of course, I'm gonna have to give this thing a full test run, let you guys know what I think in a full review. Apple's saying your next computer is not a computer, so we're gonna have to put this thing through its paces. Lots of cool things I wanna try out with it, but let's put this off to the side and kind of move on with all the other stuff we have in this box. So we do have the Smart Keyboard Folio. Not exactly the Magic Keyboard that was announced, but this is that Folio keyboard to give you a typing experience with the iPads. Oh, I don't need this.
Is it gonna float?
No. So no floating like with the Magic Keyboard. Kind of got to put it down. It's not as strong. The hinge isn't as strong there, Jay. Okay. Way to ruin it. All right, so we have the Folio keyboard, and of course it has that cutout for the new cameras. And this is what I personally use on my iPad. Let's see. This is just your paperwork, and that's about it. So no special accessories needed for something like this. It is the accessory. And when we want to pop it in, it uses magnets, so boom. there you have it. Am I wrong here? Does it feel like these are a bit more spaced out? Let me grab mine real quick. I think they look pretty same for the most part. Now, I will say this color is a bit darker than the one I have, so that's pretty interesting. So it's pretty much the same Smart Folio keyboard, just the color is a bit on the darker side, which I like, but yeah. Smart Folio keyboard, y'all. All right, but what else did Apple hook us up with? So we have the Apple Pencil over here, which is a must, you know, complete the full experience. Now, the Apple Pencil did not get any significant upgrades or any real changes. Nice and simple unboxing experience, and you get your paperwork. And then, of course, with the new iPad Pros, just throw it onto there and boom, you're all set to go. This is a full-blown iPad Pro, baby. Now, one thing, oh snap, I didn't realize this. There is an Apple logo here in the back, not something we saw before. Now, one thing we didn't talk about is pricing. The 12.9-inch version is gonna start at $999, while the 11-inch is going to start at $799. And of course, as you add to that, like cellular, storage, all that, it'll increase the price. So this guy will run you like 1,600 bucks. That's computer money, y'all. So let's see what else we got in here. What else did Apple send us? We got a few more packages, really. They sent over a Magic Trackpad. Interesting, this is a space gray Magic Trackpad. Now, what's interesting is that the iPads are gonna have trackpad support soon. Now, I don't know if you guys noticed, but the really big deal was the new Magic Keyboard that Apple announced. Now, that one is going to have a trackpad built into it. It's gonna have scissor switch keyboard, which is pretty similar to the MacBook Pro 16-inch model. So that typing experience is gonna be, I'm assuming, a lot better than what we have with the Folio keyboard. So I'm really, really pumped for that. And it even has a USB Type-C pass-through. So if you wanna charge the iPad without taking up that slot on the iPad itself, you'll be able to charge it and connect something like a SD card reader. But that Magic Keyboard is the accessory to wait for. That is coming out in May, and it's gonna start at like 300 bucks. So that's gonna be a solid investment, but I think that the experience is gonna be awesome. It even floats. It makes your iPad kind of float off of the keyboard itself, so that's gonna be interesting. But until we get our hands on it, we won't know if it's really worth it, but it looks really promising right now. Anywho, all that came from me wanting to look at this trackpad. But these new iPads are going to have trackpad support, so that might be why they included it here. So I'm gonna pair it up, see if it works. I don't know if this has, let's see what version it's on. Oh, 13.4, baby. Let's try and pair this up. Nice, now that's what's up. I'm excited now. So now we're seeing it as a device, so Magic Trackpad 2. All right, we're connected. Oh, this is actually exciting here. So let's see, oh. So we have our new cursor here, and what's nice is when you go to certain areas, you can see it just completely highlighted. So I'm looking at the battery percentage, and you guys can see how it highlights it, and then you can click in, you get access to like the control center. You can kind of see how it jumps in, and it makes it really easy to identify where the cursor is. So it's nice and smooth, and it like attaches to the icon. So it's really easy to just make sure you click what you want. You don't have to be super precise. I think that is awesome. Oh, this is actually pretty cool. And you can do gestures like swiping up or maybe left and right to get to the app you want. So if you're familiar with the gestures on a MacBook, you pretty much get that same experience here. So I think we'll be able to go through all of the different things within the review. I'll let you guys know how that works. But I'm not even gonna lie, this is pretty exciting to be able to just grab the trackpad, grab this, and kind of use it like a computer, even though it's not one. And of course, it even comes with a Lightning to USB cable. What would have made this really cool is if it was Lightning to USB-C. That way we could just charge it with the iPad. Okay, so before I thought the full experience was with the keyboard and the Apple Pencil, but now you got the trackpad to put in there too. So this right here is the full setup. All right, let's see what else Apple hit us with. Oh, a new Apple Watch band. This is the new Nike band. This reminds me of the old UAC logo. Let's swap it out. Now I get a lot of questions about this particular band that I usually wear. It's from Nomad, if you guys are looking for a stainless steel band. Okay, not bad. Rock it for the rest of the video, that's for sure. And let's see what else we have. What's this? So get 1 year of Apple TV Plus for free. You want this? Nope. No, I'm just joking. I can hook you up with this, man. If you guys haven't jumped on Apple TV Plus, you guys should look into it. Like, they've got some dope shows. I love watching C. Servant is really good. It's worth checking out. You probably bought a device that will get you a free year of Apple TV Plus, so definitely check it out. And last but not least, the other thing that they announced, the new MacBook Air, you guys. So this actually got some pretty substantial upgrades. I think we're done with this box. Let's get rid of it. You know, I really didn't need this unboxing knife. Let me put this thing away. So just to go down the spec list of which one we have here, we actually have got the quad-core Core i5 processor, 8 gigs of RAM, 512 gigs of storage. But let's pop this thing open now, and boom. All right, so we've got that nice space gray, 2.8 pounds. And what we get inside of the box, we get a USB-C cable, and we get this super, dang, I had to drop something. And we get this super tiny charging brick, which is just laughable compared to the one from the 16-inch MacBook. And of course, you get some paperwork. You probably get some stickers inside of here as well, which you do. Let's unwrap this guy. Man, I gotta say, the MacBook Air just feels so good in the hand. I use the 16-inch all the time, so this one just feels like it's nothing. And that's always been the selling point of the MacBook Air. It's a nice lightweight laptop, which you would typically use for things like web browsing and just light surfing, word processing, nothing too crazy. But Apple has upped the specs. So instead of just having dual core processors, now you have quad core processors that even go up to an Intel Core i7. So what that means is you can get a little bit more power out of this and do things beyond just web browsing if you want to do some photo editing or something like that. Now this one in particular has 8 gigs of RAM, but you can get up to 16 gigs. So if you want to do a little bit more, oh, it auto powered on. That was kind of cool. But yeah, like I said, this thing can get up to 16 gigs of RAM. You can also get up to 2 terabytes of storage. So what I'm really seeing Apple doing here is making something that can really sit there for the long term. Apple's also done a few things like improve the speakers. So now you have like those studio quality speakers. Now we've seen what they did with the 16-inch MacBook, and that one sounds amazing. So this thing can get 25% louder and even has 2 times the amount of bass, which coming from a small device like this, it's probably gonna be impressive. We're gonna test it out and once we get through this setup process. And they increased the trackpad by 25%. So you have a bigger trackpad to work with. You also get 2 Thunderbolt 3 ports here on the side. And something interesting that Apple did is just like with the 16-inch MacBook Pro, they went ahead and put the scissor switches so you have a much more comfortable typing experience. And with that, you also see that they kind of changed around the arrow keys. So now you have the little space in between them, so it's not just one big flush thing. It should be a lot easier to type on. And of course, they have Touch ID over here on the side, so you can go ahead and access that. So let's go ahead and get this thing set up, because I really want to try out those speakers. Okay guys, so now we are all set up with the new MacBook Air. I guess we should just hop onto some YouTube or something, right? Or we'll play some music. Let's go to Apple Music. Should we play some Roddy Ricch? Now keep in mind, this is a MacBook Air. It definitely sounds improved compared to the previous MacBook Air. I think anybody using this, I think they'll be pretty impressed. So it is good to see the 25% increase. You definitely feel a bit more bass. I'm gonna have a full review. If you guys are interested, let me know with a comment down below. I'm going to cover this thing as well as the new iPad, let you guys know what I think. And for those of you interested, the new MacBook Airs will start at $999. But of course, if you spec it out and max it out, I think it gets to like, what was it, Jay, like 2,200? $2249, Jay with the exact numbers. So yeah, it can get pretty pricey, but you will have some pretty decent specs in this kind of form factor, which I think might be worth it, but we'll wait till a full review before we give any verdict like that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. It felt like a massive Apple tech unboxing. If you enjoyed it, be the cool guy or girl that gives this video a thumbs up, and we're gonna catch you guys in the next one. Till then, it's your average consumer. Peace. All right, now we gotta clean up all this stuff.